up, though? You are now rocking with the Onrea Initiative podcast. I am your host, Brian Onrea. This is episode 23, and I am so happy to be here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the things that I have to say. If you agree with my opinions, if you don't agree with my opinions, whatever your thoughts is, please share your thoughts with me on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or any other platform, please leave a comment. Answer a question that's written on there. Just interact with me. Let me know that you're rocking with what I'm saying, or if you're not rocking with what I'm saying, let me know that too. You feel me? Before I get into the topics today on this Super Bowl Sunday 2024, I want to just provide some motivation for some of you all, myself included. You know, I was sitting in the bed getting ready to do this recording today, and I was thinking about all of us. We're all in different seasons, but we fall in one or two categories right now, I think. Some of us need to be more selfish and think about ourselves more, and some of us need to be more selfless and think about others more. And here's what I mean. When you're in relationships, whether it be personal relationships or business relationships, any kind of situation when you're tied to somebody, again, personally or professionally, sometimes you are so selfless that you're like doing yourself a disservice. You're thinking about we, the team, we, but the other person or persons are thinking about themselves. They're thinking about me. You're thinking about we, they're thinking about me. You got a plan for the whole team. They got a plan for just them. You rocking with them, but they're rocking with themselves. And once they get what they want or need, they're gonna leave you in the dust. So you gotta be able to assess your situation, and you gotta sometimes see that if you're not being thought about, if you're not being considered, you gotta be more selfish and be more me-centered, because you don't wanna be left hanging. On the flip side, some of us may be the person that's being too selfish, and we might lose valuable people in our life because they're gonna think about how they're being mistreated and they're not being thought about, and how you only think about yourself, and they're gonna up and leave you, and you're gonna lose somebody real good. Again, this is both professionally and personally. So we gotta just assess where we're at in life, man. And some of us gotta recognize that we're around the wrong people, or maybe you're around the right people. Maybe you're around, good people, but it's a every man and woman for themselves situation. You gotta worry about you and let them worry about them. Or maybe you got somebody really, really riding with you, and you've been neglecting them, and you've been like only thinking about your interests, and they're about to walk away. You know what I mean? So assess where you are, man, because my goal is for all of us to win. I want all of us to get to our goals and get to where the Creator, God, called us to be. And I really, really pray for every single listener and supporter, because y'all like my friends. Y'all like my good friends. The audience, if you're watching this, I consider you my homeboy, my homegirl. I consider you a loved one. You know what I'm saying? So I want us to win together. But that was just on my heart this morning. You got to sometimes, be selfish. And sometimes you got to realize when you're being too selfish, you got to be selfless. So I challenge you all to assess that situation, man. But let's get into the topics. Speaking of being selfless, I think all of us hip-hop lovers and music lovers need to be selfless and need to really focus on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced their 2024 nominees. And let me first say, man, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is really the Music Hall of Fame. It's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it was kind of started by rock and rollers, but it's really the Music Hall of Fame. So let's just get that out of our head, like, oh, this is a rock and roll award. No, it's a music award. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, as of right now, as of this time period in the world, it's like the apex of music recognition. And I don't want to hear none of that, if you're in the urban culture or black culture, I don't want to hear none of that, oh man, that's the white people award, or that's like, rock and roll, that's not our stuff. Listen, the way y'all was going crazy over the Grammys a few days ago, the way Jay-Z stood up there, who's also in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, by the way, Jay-Z, who also stood up there and complained about Beyonce not getting an award. Listen, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is very important. And last year, I was very, very, very disappointed in the hip hop community, because A Tribe Called Quest was nominated and nobody in the hip hop community talked about A Tribe Called Quest being nominated. Nobody championed them. all these major platforms, Drink Champs, Rap Radar, Joe Budden podcast, $1 million worth of game. You know what I'm saying? DJ Vlad. Say what you want about Vlad, but Vlad is one of the top voices in hip hop culture. It is what it is. DJ Academics. Nobody talked about A Tribe Called Quest being nominated, and I think that we make a big deal out of hip hop beefs, and we make a big deal out of so much negative stuff in the community. I'm going to talk about Monique later. Monique shook the world with her stuff with Shannon Sharp, Cat Williams, all that negativity, all the millions and millions of views that got. But yeah, The Tribe Called Quest, of course, they didn't make it last year. They didn't make it in the Hall of Fame. Here's the thing. Here's the way it works. I'm not a super expert on the Hall of Fame, but the way it works is that I think they nominate they put 7 people every year, I think. And there's a committee. I'm not sure if that committee is made up of members or not, but there's a committee, right, that votes. But they also have a fan vote where the fans can vote for 7 people, and you can vote every single day. I think it's once a day or a certain number of times a day, but you can vote every day. The fans vote, and last year, Tribe Called Quest did not get one of the top 7 fan votes. They were way low on the list, and it really bothered me that it didn't bother me that they didn't get nominated. It bothered me that hip hop didn't recognize them. Hip hop didn't support them. They didn't because here's the thing. When it comes to the fan vote, that's one vote, but there's also campaigning and political pressure. Like I told you, Jay-Z was campaigning for Beyonce to get Album of the Year. People campaign for stuff, and there was no campaigning on behalf of A Tribe Called Quest. And I think it's just lame how in our community, the hip hop community, we glorify all this BS. We glorify all this negativity. So I'm putting out a challenge this year to all the major hip hop platforms: DJ Vlad, Drink Champs, Rap Radar, $1 million worth of game, Joe Budden podcast, and The Breakfast Club, the Hot 97, Ebro in the Morning. All these platforms that are really important in hip hop culture. Let's give some love to A Tribe Called Quest because they're nominated again. Let's give some love to Eric B. and Rakim because they're nominated again. But no, they're nominated for the first time. I'm sorry. So let me just go over the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations, okay? Mary J. Blige is nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mary J. Blige. Mariah Carey, Cher, Dave Matthews Band, Eric B. and Rakim, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, James Addiction, Kool and the Gang, Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Sinead O'Connor, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, Sade, and A Tribe Called Quest. Now, you can pick up the 7, and what happens is from now until April 26th, you can vote every day. So I hope and pray that all the hip hop platforms draw a lot of attention to this process, and especially A Tribe Called Quest and Eric B. and Rakim. But we got Mary J. Blige, y'all. Mary J. Blige is as hip hop as it gets. You know what I'm saying? She's so hip hop. From Grand Poobah rapping on her first album. From Eric Murray rapping on her album. She discovered the Lox. The Lox is a top hip hop rap group. They're my top 5 hip hop rap groups, and she discovered them. So Mary J. Blige can't get no more hip hop than that. Mariah Carey, Sade, let's Kool in the Game. Let's vote. Now, I'm gonna put on the screen, I did my vote. These are my 7 votes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna vote every day, and I'm gonna do my best to highlight this. And who knows, man, maybe I'll get a chance to interview some of these people. Or if I can't interview them, let's see if I can interview some people that work with them. Maybe somebody work with A Tribe Called Quest, or Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Eric B. and Rakim, Lenny Kravitz. Oh my goodness, Lenny Kravitz has a great book, like some semi-autobiography, Let Love Rule. I'm a big fan of Lenny Kravitz, so let's get the folks from our culture, let's get them nominated, man. You know what I'm saying? This won't be the last time I talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We got until April 26th, and I want to see more people in the hip hop community, in the urban community, support the hip hop acts, man. And more people in the black community in general support this kind of stuff instead of supporting all the negativity. Because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is important, man. And speaking of that, speaking of Hall of Fame music people, I want to talk about this documentary that I saw, you know what I'm saying, called The Greatest Night in Pop on Netflix. It was a documentary about the making of the song We Are the World. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice for making. I don't know the rest of the song, but yeah, man, it's an excellent documentary, man, called "The Greatest Night in Pop." It's about when they made it. I think it was in 1984 or 1985. Lionel Richie, was and is still a huge superstar. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, my daughter knows him from hosting, I think, America's Got Talent. You know what I'm saying? So she knew who he was, but he was a huge deal in the 80s, man. You gotta understand, man, I love history and I love music history. But in the early 80s, man, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, were like at the top of the world. And, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, was tasked to like write the song. And it's funny because they was trying to get Stevie Wonder to write the song with them. Because Stevie Wonder, he's arguably the greatest singer-songwriter ever, and at the time he was hot as fish grease. You hear me? He was winning the album of the year almost every year in the early 80s, but yeah, they got all these big stars together: Cyndi Lauper, Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Huey Lewis, Sheila E. And it was funny because they had Sheila E. They was trying to get Prince through Sheila E. Of course Prince isn't on the song, but it's funny hearing them trying to get Prince. Diana Ross was there. Al Jarreau, oh my God, Al Jarreau was funny, man, in this documentary. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of just funny and interesting and just amazing stories came out of this night, man. It's about an hour and a half long. If you love music and love music history, man, you gotta watch this, man. The Greatest Night in Pop, man. Oh my God, it was so good, man. I'll give it a top rating. And I want to see more documentaries like that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, We Are the World was a song they made to get relief to Africa, you know what I'm saying? To African aid, So yeah, man, check that out, you know what I'm saying? I already listened to the podcast, baby. All right, man, where do I want to go next, man? Let's talk about more new music, man. Kanye West's album is out. Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign Vultures Volume 1 album is out. I think it's about 15 songs, something like that, 14, 15 songs. Kanye West, produced it with a lot of help. Like I think Timbaland's name is on there. Exclusive, the homie Exclusive, who I interviewed before, he's on there as a producer. A lot of producers are on there. Of course, it's Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign on all the songs, man. He got his daughter Northwest on the song. I think Quavo gives some background vocals. Playboy Cardi, Rich the Kid, got vocals on there. Chris Brown is on one song. But my favorite song is Back to Me. Back to Me, they got a sample of Jay and Silent Bob movie, the scene where they're with the girl on the bridge and then Chris Rock fell out the sky. Oh man, I think it was beautiful the way Kanye and the crew sampled this part of the movie. And I hope they got permission to use it, because that's another story about Kanye not getting sample clearances. Talk about that in a second. But that song is amazing. That song is like already, in my opinion, one of the contenders for Song of the Year. That is an early contender for Best Song of the Year, because Kanye did this thing on there, Ty Dolla $ign did this thing on there, and then Freddie Gibbs came on at the end and just murdered the song, murdered it. Now, there was snippets and clips of this released online.
Niggas mad. Fucking the twins, I told her Skinny was in, so she took out all the ass. Dipping at your rap, but that thing still moving, I had to knock it down. Easy, where we at? Promise a me line, just turn the bird bitch to my ex like I was Elon. Cow hunters on the blue side, booty must have grew aside. Seen it from the front side, damn it must be two sides. God damn it must be two sides. 40s on that double R, I'm floating like a cruise line. Bitches wanna fuck me, then trap me, then fuck me over. She crying tears in that Maybach and not the Toyota. Once it's over.
You've seen this, but just to hear the quality version of it, oh my gosh, man. Freddie Gibbs tore it up. Freddie Gibbs don't get enough appreciation, man. Freddie Gibbs is one of our greats of this generation, man. Oh my gosh, he killed that too. So that song is just amazing. But other than that, man, the album was just okay to me. Other than that song, nothing else really stood out to me. I probably won't listen to anything else on the album besides that song. But hey, man, that song alone, man, is worth it. Back to Me, oh my God, it's one of the best songs of the year, man. So that album is out. Now, Kanye got into some trouble. Of course, I talked about yesterday, Ozzy Osbourne, said that he didn't get the sample cleared, from using his stuff. I think the Backstreet Boys, there was a snippet that Kanye played before with the Backstreet Boys. They didn't approve it, and those songs weren't on the album. But Donna Summers came out and said that he interpolated their songs, so he was complaining about that. And all I gotta say about that is a lot of people are up in arms trying to defend Kanye. And to their credit, I don't think they sampled the song. I think they interpolated it. It might be a legal claim there, maybe. But in general, though, like I said yesterday, you should not illegally use somebody's stuff. If somebody gives you the okay to use it, cool. But if you don't get permission and clearance, don't use other people's stuff. Just don't do it, man. That's my view on that, man. But shout out to Kanye West, man. Hopefully he gets his life together too, man, and he reconciles with the Jewish community, man, and reconciles with everybody he got beef with, because I think he's real talented, but I think he's kind of lost. I think he's real lost, and I hope that he gets found, because I want the best for all of us, man. I love everybody, so shout out to Kanye. Shout out to Freddie Gibbs. Shout out to Ty Dolla $ign too. Another just underrated talent in our generation, man. So shout out to them, man. Speaking of talent of our generation, speaking of generational talent, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg are launching their new gin and juice drink. Long overdue. When I was in the 9th grade, gin and juice came out. And gin and juice, man, let's talk about the song Gin and Juice, man. It's an amazing song, you know what I'm saying? I remember before the Doggy Style album came out, there was some video, I forget what video it was, but on the video, they played the instrumental to Gin and Juice with a girl walking around. I wish I could find that. A girl walking around, and I was like, what is that beat? And the girl was beautiful. She was dressed real skimpy, and she was looking good, but all I could think about was, what beat is that? Beat is amazing, you know what I'm saying? And it was a Gin and Juice beat that came out later that year. But the beat was crazy, and the song is classic. And it's about time they capitalized on that, man. And so yeah, a trailer came out, a commercial trailer came out yesterday of Dr. Dre and Snoop in the car. I guess they were replaying the Quentin Tarantino movie. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. They were replaying a scene from with John Travolta and Samuel Jackson and Pulp Fiction. They're replaying the scene from there, I believe. But they did a whole commercial, man, with them, riding in the car, digging a hole with a body, and they had this drink. And apparently there's several flavors. Sign me up right now. I love a good cocktail. And you know how, like, on the beach in the summer with the barbecues and stuff, everybody had the little White Claws and all that stuff. Well, now we gonna be drinking the gin and juice. You know what I'm saying? Sign me up. When they come out, I'm buying the case off rip. They got a thing now where you can put your email address and your name, just get on the mailing list. Sign me up right now. I'm all in on Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg gin and juice. They got a website. I think it says Dre and Snoop or buydreandsnoop.com or something like that. But shout out to them, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Moving on, man. Some not so positive stuff, man, but I want to cover this, man, because I think that it's important in our community that we stick together. And the more I think about the whole Monique thing, the more I'm just not rocking with it, her calling folks out. I thought about her and Kevin Hart, man. It was announced that Monique is going on tour with Cat Williams now, so her and Cat Williams linking up now, you know what I'm saying? They linking up to go against everybody, She said in the Club Shay Shay interview that Kevin Hart loaned her some money when she was down and out and she needed some help. Kevin Hart loaned her some money. And she said that she paid him back with interest.
When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, here you go. We're forever grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top. I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out.
And she said that before she started talking about him, because I guess in her mind, that was her way of like saying, look, I know he helped me out, but because I paid him back with interest, I have the right to just go in on him for what he did to me. So as I said on the previous podcast, if everything Monique says is true, Kevin Hart is in the wrong for how he did her. Again, if what she said is true, Kevin Hart is in the wrong. But me personally, man, I could never take a crap on somebody. I could never talk bad about somebody that helped me when I was down. You know, I thought about that. You know, Kevin Hart helped you when you were down, when you needed money. He loaned it to you. He helped you when you were down and out. And now you want to go in on him because he did you wrong? Listen, there's people who I don't really rock with right now in my life who have done things for me that I would never speak bad about publicly. Maybe privately, but even then I try not to speak bad about them. I try to just, leave them alone. If I don't rock with you, I don't rock with you. I don't got time to talk about you. But I'm definitely not going to crap on somebody publicly who helped me out. And I think it's just kind of real low down and lame to kind of go in on somebody and expose somebody that once helped you when you were down, And I get defending yourself, but against Kevin Hart, it's nothing to really defend yourself about, Monique. There's nothing that Kevin Hart did to her that she has to defend herself with. He wasn't the one that spread the rumors about you being difficult to work with. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was kind of low down. And also, Monique, man, I love you, Monique, man, but Judge Mathis put out a video on his social media saying that comedians shouldn't be beefing with one another, and he didn't call out no names, by the way. He just said y'all should stop beefing with one another. Didn't call out no names.
I want to appeal to our comedians to stop going after each other in public like this. You're embarrassing yourselves. You're embarrassing our community. I know many times you have to defend yourself about what's being said, but why can't we do it directly? And I just want you to know, I believe that we're being laughed at all the major studios and by their executives, seeing us in public, black folks going at each other. You don't see this among other communities. And that's why I say you're hurting yourselves and you're hurting our community and you're hurting the young people who are looking and want to learn and need to learn how to resolve disputes in a better way. I'm no saint. I'm guilty of having temper issues from time to time on my show. That's entertainment. You guys, say what you want as part of your entertainment, but don't go out your way and personally attack each other, particularly your families. I appeal to you for that. Let's not turn on each other, let's turn toward each other.
There's footage that surfaced of Monique at a recent concert, and I'll show it.
To Brother Greg Mathis. I heard you, Brother Greg Mathis. I heard you, Stephen A. Smith. I want y'all to understand something about me. When I have communicated something wrong, I'm a who's gonna say, I'm sorry. Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, I wanna apologize for telling y'all to suck.
She's literally telling people to suck her, you know what, and talking about Judge Mathis, Oprah, Tyler Perry, and it's just like, and everybody eating it up, everybody loves it, and it's just like, man, this is the kind of crap that we deal with in our community, and it's so sad, man. Again, I'm talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, making sure that our heroes get honored. That don't get no pub, that don't get no publicity, but all this negativity gets publicity, you know what I'm saying, with Monique. So I think it's just sad, man. I think it's sad, and I hope that Monique stop doing this, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that we as a people stop rewarding this. Like I said before, it sounds like she has a legitimate lawsuit against Tyler Perry. I think she should sue him. Get your money. But talking bad about our hero, Tyler Perry is a hero. Whatever he did to you is between y'all two, and you should sue him but to the community, Tyler Perry is a hero and he's an icon. And for you to try to trash him and trash Oprah, trash our icons, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting, man. And I pray that this comes to a stop, man. That's all I say about that, man. Today is the Super Bowl. I'll report back on the Usher halftime show. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna let you know how it went down. As far as the game goes, man, I'm so sad the Lions lost to the 49ers, but I might feel a little bit better if the 49ers go ahead and win. So I'm gonna pick them to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs, though, I would not count the Chiefs out, man. The Chiefs been here before. They beat the 49ers in their first Super Bowl So this is a rematch from a few years ago. So they beat the 49ers. The 49ers had Jimmy Garoppolo, a different quarterback now. But pretty much, and they didn't have Christian McCaffrey either then. So this is a different 49ers team. And the Chiefs had Tyreek Hill back then too. Their receiving core was a little bit better back then. So I'm going to pick the 49ers to win just off that alone. 49ers got a better roster than before. The Chiefs got a little worse roster than before. So for that, I'm going to pick the 49ers to win the game. Now, would it surprise me if the Chiefs won? Of course it wouldn't surprise me. But I'm picking the 49ers to win tonight. Hope y'all have a good time. If you watch this before the Super Bowl, please be safe. Do not drink and drive. Don't drink and drive, man. You know, like I said, Patrick Mahomes' father, Patrick Mahomes Sr., is allowed to be at the game, so he better not drink and drive tonight. Get a chauffeur, get somebody to take you to the game. Do not drink and drive tonight. Be safe, have fun, chase your dreams, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to have a little bit of fun, but don't get, if you're a 49ers fan or a Chiefs fan, if your team win, enjoy it, but you ain't on the team. Get back to work after the game. Get back to work, get back on your grind. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow nothing to distract you from your goals, man. This has been episode 23 of the Onrea Initiative. I love y'all. See you next time.